Shalom, 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 shalom. Tinogona kuramba tichiomberera Jesu. So, a wonderful morning to you. It's a privilege to come again and share what the God of Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa and Ruth Emmanuel Makandiwa is doing in this place. Men of God, there are times when you think you have seen most of what this God can do. Yeah. But as more testimonies continue coming up, you just realize that you haven't seen anything at all.
It's true, Doc. What keeps on happening in this place is totally astounding. You look at everything happening on a daily basis, you keep asking questions. What kind of God have we been given in this place? The kind of miracles that is able to give to us. The provision that is able to give to us. You notice yesterday we're in Mutare.
Oh, Mutare was massive.
You saw the explosive word that the man of God ministered
Mutare
yesterday.
was just out of this world.
He ministered to every spirit that was in that place. He went to
Amazing.
all four overflows.
Five overflow tents.
All of them, and he ministered to everyone. And there was a sporadic happening of miracles. Miracles were just popping everywhere like popcorns. It was just amazing, man of God.
Amazing. Yeah. And you know what? I like the announcement that he made towards the end. Mm-hmm. He said, get bigger tents and give me one tent which will be empty, which will be my theater for Saturday. There will be an empty tent. Anyone who just goes there is just for surgery. And when you leave, everything is sorted out.
And it's even what he had to say before. He said, I am coming with my uniform. I'm coming with my uniform to war. I mean,
and I know there are people from Mutare who might be watching. You don't want to miss this. I tell you, you don't want to miss the coming Saturday.
Yeah, true, though.
It's going to be something else.
And today is another day.
Oh. It's another amazing miracle. You know, what God is doing. You think, like I was saying, you think you've seen it all, but we realize we are just starting. We are just starting. Yeah. When we thought we had seen miracles, we are just starting. Yeah. You realize why when we share this miracle. Without much ado, let me ask forward Mr. and Mrs. Bosha. Can we just give them a round of applause as they come in?
People of God, we can do better, people of God. Let's clap our hands. Wow, 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 wow. You know, come on, let's clap our hands. I feel every time when we get in this moment, I feel a nerve wracking inside of me, chills down my spine. Goosebumps.
And I'm sure those who are watching, you can guess what it is about. You can't tell the details. Just wait, and you will hear what happened to this couple.
Yes, sure.
So let me also call upon, we've got a specialist obstetrician and gynecologist just to help us share this testimony. Because, you know, it needs another angle with another eye of a specialist. So I'm going to call upon Dr. Lucia Gondongwe to come forward. Let's just give her a round of applause. So, okay, we can take our seats. Thank you. So on the 19th of February, that's when you came to church, Mrs. Bosha.
Yes,
What was the reason why? You were telling us you usually sit in the overflow.
yes.
But for this particular Sunday, you came and you sat by the healing bay over there.
Yes.
What was the reason why you came in?
And so I wanted to get prayer from the man of God because my baby was in transverse position and I also wanted safe delivery.
The baby was in transverse position.
Yes.
It's good that we've got a specialist to describe everything to us, what it is about. So the baby was in transverse. How many weeks were you?
I was 38 weeks.
You were 38 weeks.
Yes.
So that's the 9th month.
Yes.
You were due.
Yes.
Okay. So Dr. Lucia Gondongo is a specialist obstetrician and gynecologist. She's got credentials for obstetrics and gynecology both here in Zimbabwe and in South Africa. And she's the Deputy Director of Reproductive Health, Acting Deputy Director of Reproductive Health in the Ministry of Health and Child Care. So we are privileged to have such a person amongst us who is going to help us break down this miracle. So Dr. Gonongo, what is a transverse presentation? You will explain bridge and the normal to us so that we get to understand what was happening.
Thank you, Dr. Mtewe. So the normal presentation that we expect when a woman is term, that is from 37 weeks and above, is the cephalic presentation, which is the first presentation there with a head down and the spine lying along longitudinally with the mother's spine. And we expect...
So that's the normal, the head has to be down.
Yes, man of God.
Okay.
And as we reach 36 weeks, the head will actually proceed to go into the pelvis, which we call lightening. And we can see with the other positions that will be difficult. And the middle picture there is showing a transverse position where the baby is now crossing the mother's tummy. The head could be on the right or left of the mother's tummy, and you hear the fetal heart on the extremes of the mother's abdomen. And as we can see, into the pelvis there is nothing. There is actually some liquor volume, and at times you might have the umbilical cord being down there instead of being up. And you understand why we don't want these women to get into labor, because they will also end up with another complication that is called cord prolapse when the umbilical cord comes first. Okay. And the last position is the bridge position. And it has got different names: frank bridge, complete bridge, footling bridge. The one that we are seeing there is a complete bridge where the baby is folding his or her legs right from the thighs.
Thank you, Doc. So the baby was in the position which is in the middle picture.
Yes,
was lying across. So
yes,
among those three, which one is the worst type of presentation?
So the transverse presentation is the worst type of presentation, but the transverse presentation as well as the bridge presentation, there's also another one called the oblique presentation where the head is not in the pelvis. They are all dangerous positions, and we do not allow women to deliver normally when they have such positions.
Okay, given a choice between transverse and bridge, which one would be the better of the two? Because I know we've seen a lot of women with bridge presentations who are ministered to and the baby turns. Which one would you say, I think this one is better than the other?
So the bridge presentation is the better position compared to the transverse presentation. Okay. The bridge presentation, when a woman has more than one baby, at times we allow them to have a normal delivery. But for a transverse lie, we don't allow a normal delivery. And even when you are doing a cesarean section, with a bridge presentation, you get into the uterus, you take the legs out and take the baby out. But with a transverse presentation, you have to convert the baby into the bridge presentation first and take out the baby.
So even the cesarean section, which is recommended, it's not an easy cesarean section for a transverse.
Yes, man of God, it's not an easy cesarean section, and if it's going to be done by a junior person, the senior person has to be there in case there is something else that happens.
Okay, so there you are. I think you are getting to grips with the situation that she had. The baby was lying across, and there was no way she was going to deliver normally. Even having a cesarean section was going to be very difficult. So I understand, Mama, you had been referred from the clinic to Parenyatwa Hospital. What
Yes.
were they going to do? How were they planning to deliver you?
I was going to be operated on at Parenyatwa.
You were going to be operated on.
Yes.
So before you went for this delivery, for the surgery, you decided to come to church.
Yes.
Okay, media team, can you just help us to have a relief of what happened on the day? That was the 19th of February, which is 3 weeks ago. So this is a very brand new baby. So media team, can you play for us the clip of what happened so that we can just watch and see?
Usachke, you are covered. 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 You are covered.
So Mrs. Bosha, you are the one with the black floral dress. And you are holding the right side of the abdomen. Why?
Yes. That's where I felt the head of the baby. And that spot was always very painful. So
That
when
was where the head was.
Yes, when the man of God prayed for me, I felt a sharp pain on the exact spot where the head was. So I
Sorry,
was...
before you. So that's where it was confirmed by scan. The midwives, they palpated and they confirmed that's where the head was.
Yes, they actually wrote using a red pen in my book to say transverse.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So after the prayer, what happened? I don't know if it was a prayer. The man of God just talked about covering. You are covered. You are
yes.
covered. You are covered.
So after the prayer, I went back home. Normally, I did not feel any pain. I was okay. But
Did you expect, what was the reason why you came? Did you want to go into labor or you wanted this situation sorted out?
I wanted the situation sorted out, and also
So going home without pain, it was okay with you?
No, it was not okay. I also wanted to go into labor.
Okay.
Yes.
So you walked home?
Yes, I went home. So the belly was too big, so I now wanted to deliver.
Okay, let's just pause for a little bit.
Yes.
Her belly was just abnormal in shape. Can you explain to us, Doc?
So I saw her several times before the man of God prayed for her. And I always told her, do you have twins? And she would say, it's just one baby. It's because when the baby is in transverse lie, even outside, the tummy will show that it's bigger and the baby is in abnormal position, and it will be bigger than a normal tummy at term.
Thank you. So when you went home, what happened?
So when I was now home, I started feeling the baby moving, and it was very painful.
So here it was just a discomfort at the position.
Just the
And then
time-
when you went home, you felt the movements now.
Yes, I felt the movements when I was home now. And I told my husband, this baby is turning now.
Wow.
That's what I told him.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I always have questions to ask, especially the professionals. Is it something that is normal for a baby to quickly move just like that?
It's not expected for the baby to move at such a quick rate. Actually, the percentage of the baby turning to a normal position, that's the head down position after 36 weeks, is quite low. And for her, it was now less than 5% because she was now 39 weeks. So we do not expect such a quick movement. And when we see such a patient, and when we have seen her before, above 36 weeks with an abnormal lie, when we even see her at 38 weeks, we don't expect anything to have happened. So she was supposed to go for a cesarean section straight. And I'm sure she will tell us what the doctor said, which was also correct.
So you feel the baby turning. What
Yes.
happened next?
So the pain stopped around 9 in the evening.
That's Sunday evening.
That Sunday evening. We went to sleep. Then around 2 a.m., I felt like I had passed out some urine, but it was not under my control.
Okay.
And all the previous babies, this has never happened. So I didn't know what had happened at first. Then it happened again. Then I told my husband, I think I'm not draining. And he panicked. He was
So draining, maybe doctor, you can explain to us.
So draining, the lack of volume will come out involuntarily. Like I explained on the transverse position, with a transverse lie, we don't want the patient to drain because the
So
cord
draining
may...
is what? Waters have broken.
Waters have broken.
Okay.
And when the waters break before she gets into labor with a transverse lie, the cord can actually come first, and it can be compressed by any part of the body, and it can result in the death of the baby. So that's another miracle. The waters broke, and she was able to go to hospital and eventually deliver with that complication. We thank God for that.
Wow. Okay. So Mama,
So,
so Mama, the waters broke. This
Ye-
is what time now?
it was 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Monday morning,
Early hours of Monday
early
morning.
hours of Monday.
So what happened after that?
So my husband wanted us to go to the hospital at 2 a.m. and I was like, I don't feel any pain. So let's just wait until it's daybreak around 6 a.m. then we go. But I was not in any pain. Then around 6 a.m. we went to the hospital and the midwife who was there examined me. She told me, this baby is in transverse position. We can feel the heart.
So the head is still in that position.
That's what she said. Because she was saying, I can feel the fetal heart here. We are not supposed to feel it there.
It should be down.
It should be down. And there was a matron in that same room. And she said, no, don't conclude. Wait. Leave
I
her
love
for
people
some
who
time.
say that.
Yes, she said,
Leave
leave
her
her for some time and examine her again.
Okay.
So she left me for some time.
Then you were not in labor at that time.
I was not in any pain. I was not in labor. I
And then
did
what
not feel
happened
any
next?
pain. Then the doctor made me sign a paper because she wanted
So
me
now
to...
we have the midwife, the matron, now the doctor comes.
Yes. She wanted to take me to the theater. So she made me sign because I said, doctor, wait. Wait, let's wait. And she said, if you have any complications, we have to be free of this.
We
You
have to
to
protect
sign.
ourselves.
Yes, we have to protect ourselves. You have to sign to say you're the one who's delaying this. So I signed their form. And then the midwife examined me again. And she was like, I can feel the crown of the baby.
So the crown, what is the crown, doc?
So within a few minutes that they were doing all these things, initially the baby was in transverse lie. The nurse could not feel the head of the baby. And then just later on, in a few minutes, when she examined again, she could now feel that the baby was now in normal position.
So the
which
crown is the head.
Yes, man of God.
Okay. All right. So the crown was now down.
Yes. So
Okay.
the crown was now coming. The doctor wanted to operate me because when I had my first baby in 2008, he was in breech position. So they operated on me. I had a cesarean section for my firstborn son. And in 2010, we came to UFI. That's when we joined UFI. I had my second born son in 2011, and he was a normal
Normal
baby. It was
delivery.
normal delivery. I also had my third born son, and it was also a normal delivery.
So this one is
So this
the
one
fourth one.
is the
How
fourth
many sons do you
son.
have?
I have 4 sons
Oh,
now.
this is the fourth son.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So what happened? When did you go into labor finally?
I started to feel labor pains around 10 a.m.,
In the morning.
but they were not intense. They became intense around 12, and I delivered my baby normally at 15:27.
Wow. Wow. You explained to us something was happening when they were thinking that the baby is still turning but oblique position, and Baba did something, Mr. Bosha.
Yes, yes.
Where was Mr. Bosha throughout?
Allow me to explain in our vernacular language. My English doesn't come out well when there are a lot of
It's
people.
all right.
So, Doc, ndoda kutenda Mwari wababa wangu na mama wangu. Because ndakaona Mwari. Kana usati wazviitirwa unoti nyore. And I think varume vashoma vanokwanisa kupinda mulebha nevadzimai vavo. Indakanga ndirimo kusvika ndibate mwana.
Okay. So he's saying, I want to thank the God of our parents. And he also goes on to say that I was with my wife throughout the labor process. So you were in the labor ward,
Yes, I was in the
witnessing everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So patakapinda vakatanga kumuona manesi vakati mwana achiri achakaita transverse. So vomwe vacho vati don't conclude, imbomirai vape nguva. Saka pavakabuda adzimai vanga vakati ndokumbirawo clip, ndandadownloada clip yakavakanamatwa nababa
I downloaded by Clippy.
paYouTube.
Ah, okay. So you had the clip where she was being ministered to.
Yes, I had the clip.
And then she asked for the clip.
She asked for the clip. She
So
said,
you are in the labor ward, the two of you.
Yeah,
The baby is still transverse then.
we are in the two of us, and she's crying, and she's in a lot of pain. And she said, can I have that clip? So ndaka play a clip here. Ndavavaratidza vandavaisa kumeso kwavo. So it took less than 25 minutes, and the doctor came, and mnesi vamutarisa zvikanzi, ndakunzwa musoro, mwana akuya nemusoro.
So that's when the baby.
This was
Wow.
after. This was after you had actually put the clip on her face to see the man of God ministering to her.
Yes, man of God.
Okay.
That was after she watched that clip
Wow.
again. And it was just less than 25 minutes.
This faith is amazing. It is amazing.
So, I want to ask, you're saying all this, the turning and everything, happened in 25 minutes
Yes, after she watched that clip.
after showing the clip of the ministration
Yes.
of the man of God.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now allow me to ask you a question again. I remember I asked you this question and I said, is it normal for a child to turn that quickly? This time I want to really ask it again. Is it normal for a child to turn in 25 minutes? And what do you do to turn a child? And does it take that long?
Man of God, this was a miracle. Even when
I
we
like it when the specialist says that. This was a miracle. Thank you. You can go on.
So when we attempt to turn the babies into a cephalic presentation, which is called external cephalic version, which was a contraindication in her because she had a previous cesarean section. So no one was
sorry,
going
Doc.
to attempt it.
Sorry, Doc. So you're saying medically, even if you wanted to turn here, it was contraindicated. You couldn't do it.
Yes,
It was
man
too
of God.
dangerous for you to do it.
Yes, man of God, because if you attempt to turn the baby, which we rarely do in Zimbabwe anyway, if you attempt to turn the baby in a previous cesarean section, the scar, the previous scar on the uterus will open up, which is called a uterine rupture. She will actually bleed to death, and also the baby might die. So this explains the extent of the miracle that happened in this woman.
That's an intelligent power. This power is so intelligent. And then, Doc, you were just telling us something about the baby not difficult to turn after 36 weeks because of the space constraints.
Yes, man of God, after 36 weeks, actually, term begins from 37 weeks. From that time onwards, we expect the baby to come out. The baby will be okay with no respiratory problems, and the baby will be big enough to survive outside of the mother. So after 36 weeks with a big baby, there will be very little space in the uterus for the baby to turn. That's why we say for a breech position to turn or the transverse position to turn after 36 weeks, it's next to impossible.
Wow.
So 25 minutes was a serious miracle for you as a professional.
Yes, man of God, that was a serious miracle. And I
Sorry,
also...
Doc, just to hold you. And even the creation of space which was not there, the space to turn, it's just another miracle.
Yes, man
Because
of
there
God.
was no space to turn.
Yes, man of God. And all the decisions that were being made in this labor ward were correct. Even if it was me, I always joke with women who come to EFIC and we have complications and we need to go to theater. And I will say in Shona, Shamari, anointing yababa inoti batata ku theater, pana atisi kutombomira. So this is what was supposed to be done to this woman.
But Yakabata on the way to theater.
Yes,
and
man of
something
God.
happened. So you were talking about difficult deliveries like this, giving complications to the baby. Mama, mwana akanzichi apuga score. I'm sure you now know about these scores.
10 out
Bakasha.
of 10.
10 out of, wow. Maybe you can explain APGA score, Doc.
So APGA scoring is done when the baby comes out at 1 minute and at 5 minutes. The nurses will look at whether the baby is pink, the baby is moving the limbs, and the baby is breathing well. So it's measured up to 10, and when it's below 5, it's extremely bad. And if it's 10 out of 10, it means we had all these difficulties and all these complications, but our baby was completely normal. And I actually saw the baby is looking well. It's a well-looking, bouncing baby boy.
Remember, our father said, you are covered. He repeated the cover, I don't know how many times. You are covered, you are covered, you are covered, you are covered. Several times. And the baby indeed was covered. The mother indeed was covered. The father was covered. Everything, even the nurses, the doctors, everything was covered.
And to add up, Doc, for the 3 children, this was the shortest labor. She usually takes 16 hours in labor. But
Wow, you said you started the labor at 10 and delivered at... What's your comment, Doc?
So this labor was extremely short compared to all the other deliveries. She explained that in all other deliveries, she used to be in labor for 16 hours. But in this one, it was only 5 hours, which was another miracle.
So there you are, people of God. A baby in transverse position. The touch of God does something. The baby first responds here. And then the waters break at home the same night. Goes to the hospital. They say, no, the baby is still transverse. We're going to do a cesarean section. The father comes back with the same clip of the same anointing. The baby hears the father's voice saying, covered, covered, covered. The baby immediately flips into correct position. And then she goes into the labor and the baby comes out. People of God, this is an amazing miracle. This is This is mind blowing. You can see the baby sleeping very peacefully.
You know, Doc, what is always astounding is the fact that our Father can talk to a baby who's in the womb. And babies that are in the womb respond to his voice. And they are able to come out at his instruction. And every time when he speaks, the children in the womb, in the stomach, they hear his voice. And they pay attention to what he says.
Exactly.
What more? I believe there's someone in this place that has got their situation that they've been thinking of for a long time. If the man of God can speak to a baby in a stomach, what about your problem?
Exactly.
What about the miracle that you are looking for today? It means you are in the right place where there is the right doctor with the ability to talk to your situation and solve it. Have a conversation that is able to get you out of a situation. People of God, we have a man of God that is different from any other. And in this dispensation, we are blessed to have a father of this magnitude. Doc.
Thank you, Babana Mai Bosha. Babana Mai ve boys. Makorokoto ne Jayarechi 4.
Yeah. Thank you very
Just-
much. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you, Doc. Over to you, praise team. We can just continue applauding as they leave the podium.